Hello guys, Deviant Dario here,
Infinite One.
and today we are finally back at another last minute rundown. Jesus Christ, and my god, this is definitely going to be a real last minute one. That being said, we're kind of being a little late on our videos, probably about like 2, maybe 3 a week. But either way, we're going to still keep it up as much as we can. And until then, let's get on this freaking death battle.
I
So
mean,
we,
now it's a little easier because now I'm a little bit more free.
yeah, but I won't be.
Yeah, exactly. You know what?
how the
Fair.
ta- how the
Uh,
turntables.
how the turntables have tided.
Yeah. All right. And at the same time, let's see which tables will turn for these freaking nutcases. And everything toxic about these women is why I love this. All right, let's go. Harley Quinn. Joe, everyone knows her. Pretty much, literally everyone knows her at this point. I don't even need to give an extra introduction. It's Harley Quinn. That being said, PhD in psychology, pretty much a freaking genius in that field, and Joker's girlfriend, well,
Ex-girlfriend.
ex-girlfriend. She has a lot of interesting gadgets, and a lot of them are very impractical, but that's kind of what goes to her advantage because it's that impracticality that I can't say that word, the impracticality.
And I'm not
That
even gonna try because I'm gonna let you look like an ass.
she usually takes the unusual to her advantage, and that's usually the case when it comes to their form of fighting because it's very chaotic. When they are agents of chaos, so it's no shocker there. So Harley, a lot like her ex, is very tolerable to pain, and that's mainly because of the Joker, because he basically has tormented her in every way imaginable, if not psychologically, then physically, where she basically
Mentally,
she
sexually, etc., any kind of way that you can be mentally abused.
yes,
Any way you can be abused, Harley has experienced it through Joker many,
times over.
many times.
Yeah, she is the peak definition of oh my god, I forgot the name of that word. Forgive me, my brain is off right now.
One isn't it?
Shut up. What do you call
Sounds good.
that when you fall in love with your captor? My god.
And you do what with your what now?
You never heard of that?
You went fast with what you were
When you
saying.
fall in love with your captor, with your kidnapper.
Oh, insanity.
No, there's an actual
No,
word
I
for
know, I
that.
know, I know. There's a word for it, but I don't know the word. I'll look it up for you if you want. Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome.
Thank you. So her being the peak definition of Stockholm syndrome with her ex, she pretty much has suffered enough from him in every way imaginable, and to the point where she's very tolerable to pain, where she practically can just turn that side off. But then again, she has hit that point of insanity that she, in a sense, has hit peak human stability and all that, but at the same time, there's nothing stable about it. But because of these factors, it
They
made her a
messed
much
up my
harder person.
sandwiches. My sandwich. My bread's not on my sandwich
I was
now.
gonna say they did mess up her sandwich and it caused a fight scene, but
Yeah. I mean, that is true. So
another thing, she has an interesting immunity when it comes to basically most poisons, toxins, venoms, viruses, bacteria, freaking alcohol, truth serums, even tranquilizers. Like she's used to that shit. And if not being tormented by other people, that's basically what she'll be getting herself off on. She'll be nurse jacking that shit to the point of no return. Granted, she would be she's already a nurse Jackie if you think about it, just with a few extra steps.
it seems like a Nurse Jackie with a lot of extra steps.
There was a lot of extra steps. Aside from being just very good at hand-to-hand combat and from being very acrobatic, she had to pick up a lot of street smarts aside from book smart. And that's definitely one thing about her. Even before she met the Joker, she was a little nutty to begin with. She just wasn't fully at the breaking point. So she was a time bomb ready to go off from the start, and whew, is she one that
The
found a
vat,
way to control
the
herself?
the vat of toxic waste helped a lot.
Yeah. And depending on which version, that vat of toxic waste also kind of shut off a number of her nerves, which allows her to handle some of that pain a little bit more. Can she swim? Most versions, no. Keep that in mind. Random fact.
Can't swim.
Though that definitely won't stop her from trying to pick a fight, even when she's attempt of drowning.
I can see it now.
It definitely didn't stop. It definitely didn't stop Batman from knocking her out underwater. Again, I'm gonna bring up the fact that she's a freaking genius and a psychiatrist. She pays attention to her I was gonna say her victims, but yeah, technically her victims, but to her enemies. She practically can point out most of the flaws of almost everyone that she fights. She at one point even took on the big three: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and actually using their abilities against each other, basically doing what Batman would have done if the Justice League were to turn. It was interesting, but I would definitely say a bit very comic book BS, but just to show how clever and resourceful Harley can be. And let's just be honest, just the fact that she's become a lot more popular, it just gives her more of an advantage in the mainstream light. And another weird bullshit comic book thing, she has somewhat of a healing factor. And I'm not gonna say like Deadpool or Wolverine kind of BS, but enough where she probably shouldn't be able to survive that type of blow and at least be able to recover from it within a day. So nothing too crazy, but the bitch can take a hit.
Bitches take hits.
And aside from taking hits, both bitches love cannons.
Which brings us to Jinx, whose name is the Loose Cannon from League of Legends and the show that I have not yet watched, but I really want to.
Oh my god. Dude, I started. You really got to. I'm not even
Is
playing.
it that good?
Watch it.
Okay, I'll put it on my to watch list after.
Dude, I know you never watched the game. I know you never played the game. I played the game. Ironically, when she showed up as a character, I was like, ooh, okay. And honestly, once again, she brought me back to the franchise. It's just that.
Yeah,
good.
I didn't want to play the game because I didn't want to hate my life even more than I already did at the point.
Trust me, there's other games that could have made you hate yourself.
Pokemon Unite. Okay, anyway.
I was gonna say Minecraft, but that too.
I never played Minecraft either.
Oh, lucky.
The one thing that the problem with her is that she's very mentally unstable. Very mentally unstable. If she gets to the point where she starts experiencing, like, if she gets too bad with her mental state, she can start having vivid hallucinations about her past. So that's a really hard thing for her to do. But she's also genius level smarts, more engineer-esque smarts than book smarts than such.
Yeah, well, she's definitely very street smart.
She's actually pretty fast too. Like, I didn't think I was looking around. I didn't think she was actually as fast as she could have been. She's like subsonically fast, but she has a couple of abilities from her of course, from League of Legends in game. So I could see them coming into play. Like, get excited. Massively increases speed and attack whenever she helps kill or destroy an enemy's champion, which I'm sure they'll just throw that in as an ability of hers. Switcheroo modifies her basic attacks by swapping between Pow Pow, her minigun, Fishbones, and her rocket launcher, so it's just fast reload, and she carries everything on her at all times. It's not a magic satchel situation for her. It's like she carries her weapons on her at all times. She has a shock pistol, flame chomper, custom grenades that latch onto the enemy, so kind of like sticky grenades but with like teeth. My favorite, Super Mega Death Rocket, because the name. Mechanical firelights, small mechanical butterflies filled with large amounts of explosive compounds. She can warp. I don't know how far, but I'm sure they'll use that as she can warp without any explanation about it.
It's arcane-based abilities in their universe. Like, if you go to the show, it gives a little bit more of a explanation into it. And even her sister V, who is a cop, who's the complete opposite of her, has something similar.
Yeah, and they said that she's like a very good matchup against V. Like, there's points where she could win a fight against V, but Plan A ability.
Yeah. It's the sisterly rivalry between them. So
Plan Z grants like armor magic and resistance or health bonus to her. So I think Plan Z it could be considered maybe a healing factor for her, Plan Z, but I don't know.
Yeah. And also, not to mention, even compared to other humans, she's also chemically altered. So
Yes.
she's already an experimentation compared to the others. Like it might as well be the same as the chemical vats. And like you said, she was already suffering from PTSD from basically being, I guess, technically a child soldier.
Dude, you hit my car. I'm suing you. Yeah.
Go into that later. Um,
Uh,
a freaking
but yeah.
inventor, like she can tinker with crap on the go, which is how she came up with a majority of her little gadget machineries to begin with.
Exactly. She's a very smart engineer. She makes her own weapons, so she knows what she's doing in terms of her own weaponry and
Mm-hmm.
how to make it and how it works.
She's very resourceful.
Exactly. I'm just
She's Peter
trying.
Parkery when it comes to gadgets.
Yes, I'm just trying to see if there's like I don't want to give like measurements because it's she's mainly from the video game and the TV show. Like I'm looking at it, it's like her range is tens to hundreds of meters with her standard weapons, kilometers with the rocket, and then planetary with her standard weapons. Yes, but
Yeah, it's more specific stuff, but
she's more weapon heavy than hand to hand combat. I think Harley's more like hand to hand and gadgets, even though she has her gadgets. But I know Harley likes to use her hammer a lot,
yeah. Well, she'll
and
go
I
back and forth with
don't.
her hammer or a aluminum bat, whatever. Honestly,
Yeah, what
whatever's nearby. She'll use a freaking pencil like her ex if she has to.
the thing here is like I don't see Jinx having a melee weapon in her arsenal, but then again, I could be 100% wrong.
I'm not
But I
familiar
don't.
with her having
But
one really.
I'm just like looking at like her equipment, and I don't see a any melee weapon listed. So it says what she lacks in strength, she makes up for in dexterity and speed. So we'll see. So it's more Harley's more of a power. Would you say Harley's more of a powerhouse?
Maybe I'm trying to remember my exact words.
Well, she's more. I'm just gonna leave it at Jinx is more weapon versatile, um, instead of up close and personal. And I feel Harley is more up close and personal than she is with like heavy weaponry and machinery.
Now here's a factor that I don't know will take that I don't even know if we'll be able to figure this out, but this might make a factor in the battle run. Which one is more stable?
I'm gonna say probably like I don't want to say it, but me going off of what I read earlier and the past couple days about Jinx because I had no idea who the hell Jinx was before they even said it.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I was reading, it sounds like Harley's more mentally stable, surprisingly enough, because Jinx seems like if she just remembered of something of her past too much,
She gets lost.
she immediately vivid hallucinations and breaks down. Meanwhile, through the whole like couple of like even in the Harley show, I know that's not an accurate representation of Harley, but she's been dealing with it a lot more, and they even had that whole episode where they like went into her subconscious and like helped her deal with everything.
And you know what? I completely agree. And from what I know from Jinx as well, she's just known to be. She's literally a firecracker, just ready to go off for it with no. There is
She's
no
just
excuse. There is no.
chaotic.
Yeah, she is chaos. She's more like the Joker in action than than anything. All right. So I'm trying to think, because if one of them say were to lose control of their sanity in the fight, that would definitely give advantage for the other one to take advantage.
Exactly.
And in this case, Harley will exploit the fuck out of Jinx. So I have a feeling Harley's got this in the bag. I know Jinx has the weaponry,
Yeah.
but let's be honest, Harley takes on metahumans on a daily basis for fun. It took in one universe, it took a literal army of doomsday mixed with the fuck what are those things called, but yeah, basically they had an army of Darkseid's minions with the blood of Doomsday, and it was just it took an army of Doomsday to take on freaking Harley Quinn and whoever was left of the Suicide Squad, just for them to set off a nuke and take off the remaining army out like a Chad.
I'm gonna punch you next time I see you just for that line. But
Fair enough. So yeah, that's about it. My money is on freaking Harley Quinn.
I'm gonna say Harley just because I try and go with logic, but I also try to go by Rooster Teeth's like fucking formula of how they run shit. Because they a lot of times they go with like a character that they like too. I know there's some bias in it, of course there is, but I'm gonna say Harley anyway because one, I know more on Harley. Two, it just from what I was reading about Jinx, it just seems like she's a lot more equipped to handle the situation at hand, and I think she has more experience than Jinx too. So
No, because I could definitely see Jinx definitely not taking one on this one, mainly because Jinx was already unstable at a much younger age compared to Harley, and never really found a way to cope with that, at least not correctly. And with Harley, she at least really broke, at least way later in
was
life.
when she was pushed to the edge, when she was assigned to
Which,
Joker.
yeah, when she was with the Joker, and even then, she found a way to find some stability even in through that madness, and even hell, she got to the point where she had a kid, had his kid, and kept it from him just so she could make sure the kid grew up a normal life.
Or as normal as it possibly could be.
Yeah, and to be able to make that type of decision through that madness, that's ironically stable. Honestly, one of my favorite freaking chapters of her in general. Just hearing that, and that was just I think that was after a fight with Black Canary. That's right. She was fighting Black Canary, found out that Black Canary was pregnant, and was like, "Dude, for real, I'm not gonna kill you." And then basically just starts just telling her story about like, yeah, I have a kid too, blah blah blah. Like, oh my god, I definitely got. If you haven't seen that one, I forget which one it is. Just look up Harley versus Black
No,
Canary.
I know what you're talking about. I've
Yeah,
seen that.
not even just you, just anyone listening to this. It's such a great fucking chapter. It's just very interesting. If not just on her character in general, just check it out. It's definitely a recommend. Um, so yeah, Harley's got this in the bag. And unless you got anything to add, I think that's it.
Nope.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us. And once again, we'll be back again with these last minute rundowns. And yeah, let's see what happens between these two nutcases. I'm Deviant Dario.
I'm Infinite One.
You have a wonderful night.